Boosting NATO's presence in the Arctic, as well as shoring up more support for Ukraine, topping the agenda as defense ministers of the alliance meet in Brussels. Sweden says it will send fighter jets to patrol around Greenland as part of NATO's newly launched Arctic Sentry mission. The initiative aims to bolster the bloc's presence in the region amid growing Russian and Chinese activity. Tensions with Washington have been high after US President Donald Trump's push to acquire Greenland. Washington's commitment to NATO also under question as Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth skips today's meeting. US Undersecretary of Defense Elbridge Colby attended in his stead and called for a NATO model based on, quote, partnership rather than dependency. And for more on this, Will Denselow covering the story for CNA Live from Brussels. Will, how is NATO planning to strengthen ties, not just with the US, but with Indo-Pacific countries?
Well, when it comes to the relationship with Indo-Pacific partners, the geography might not be shared, but the shared threats certainly are. Now, that is why NATO Secretary General, as well as chiefs of staff in recent weeks, have really been hammering home that message that these are interconnected issues and why this collaboration with partners in the Indo-Pacific are so crucial. Looking at several issues, taking, for example, Arctic and what NATO sees as an increased presence, not just by Russia, but by China as well. That kind of expansionist policy, as NATO sees it, is why they believe that there's plenty of grounds for collaboration, coordination with Indo-Pacific partners as well. On the issue of Ukraine, of course, a long way from the Indo-Pacific, but there is a global component as well. The fact is that NATO remain sure that China is sending dual-use goods to Russia that are helping with its war effort. They say, of course, that North Korea as well is providing expertise as well as personnel to help in the fight against Ukraine. So these are certainly all shared concerns, and that is why NATO is making a key strategy to bring in Indo-Pacific partners deeper into the fold.
Will, concerns are many, but resources always limited. With these various areas of concern, could NATO be risking stretching those resources?
Well, when it comes to the Arctic Sentry mission, this brand new mission that has been unveiled this week, or unveiled that it's now operational this week, and NATO says that essentially a huge component of it is that it brings existing programs under one umbrella. So operations that might be taking away in Nordic nations, the likes of Norway, the likes of Finland, essentially these operations will continue. So these aren't brand new exercises per se, but they'll now be falling under the umbrella of the Arctic Sentry. The purpose of this, to improve coordination, ensuring that NATO have further capabilities of dealing with working in such adverse conditions that are seen in the High North, as well as to help better identify any kind of potential security gaps going forward. So there are certainly hopes there that NATO will not be stretched. They say they're certainly ahead of the game as things stand with Arctic security, but that more needs to be done and a coordinated response is required. When it comes to Ukraine, well, essentially the message is more is still very much needed. That's why we're seeing more financial pledges to Kyiv to make sure that they can continue to negotiate with Russia from as strong a position as possible.
Well, thanks. Will Denselow covering the story for CNA Live as NATO defense ministers, but not the US defense chief, meet in Brussels.